My God, I hate drugs.
The country is a step closer to getting a national ID system. Lawmakers have ratified the bicameral conference committee report on the national ID system bill. The bill now awaits President Duterte's signature. Under the proposed system, Filipino citizens would only need a single ID for government transactions. First in line to receive the ID are senior citizens and persons with disability. It's good to note, I will just add this, but when if this gets approved, the system will be collecting a person's basic information, which includes a person's biometrics, voter ID number, Philippine passport number, TIN number, PhilHealth number, driver's license. So all your personal information
blood type
will be collected by this. So people are wondering, what about my privacy? Well, there is that Data Privacy Act, and supposedly this will protect, your information and to be released only on certain conditions.
Because what's happening now is that there are so many IDs around, even a driver's license. I mean, what would you also put? You'd put your blood type, you'd put your name, address, everything is actually out there already.
That's why it's getting mixed reactions. Some people actually like it to just have a
I guess the convenience of it is just the one ID.
But the thing is, some people say, what if you lose that one ID? And then, everything is just dependent on one ID.
Well, we'll see how efficient, again, they will make this easier for Filipinos, hopefully. All right, later, newsmakers go on the record with our chief correspondent, Pio Ontiveros. Catch the discussion on the national ID system at 7 p.m. only here on CNN Philippines.
Report this Thursday, CNN Philippines tackles the government's Build program in its first ever business forum. Our senior correspondent Ruth Cabal tells us what the experts and officials discussed.
In what could be the country's most massive and ambitious infrastructure plan, the Build program is on track. That's according to the Duterte administration's economic managers. They're saying that half of the 75 flagship projects are already processed. Some are undergoing construction, others are nearing completion. The end goal, they say, is to give a comfortable life for all Filipinos. In Building for the Future Business Forum, CNN Philippines talked to key officials involved in the Build program. Budget Secretary Benjamin Jokno, Economic Planning Secretary Ernesto Pernia, Transportation Secretary Art Tugade, Public Works Secretary Mark Villar, and Basis Conversion Development Authority President Vince Dizon. Secretary Jokno says an indication that the program is on track is that spending for infrastructure has greatly increased. In the last 50 years, the government only spent 2.6% of the country's gross domestic product on infrastructure, when the acceptable level is double this. Last year, infra spending was at 4.6% of the GDP, and this year, the government is targeting to increase this to 6.1% of the GDP. In total, the government is allotting 8.9 trillion pesos for the program, which involves 75 flagship projects composed of roads, airports, and seaports and railways, including the Metro Manila subway. The DBM assures funding is in place, 75% from domestic and 25% from foreign financing.
Yes, I'm happy where we are. It's not easy to do this kind of massive, ambitious program in 2 years. But what we did was to maybe complete some projects which were not started, but we are finishing right now. For example, the Panglao International Airport will be done this August. Okay, Panglao, that's been lying down there for 10 years. The Cebu International Airport, the Cebu Second International, we will complete that this June.
Terminal 2.
The Clark International Airport has been started now, right? It's ongoing.
On the part of transportation, therefore, if you will ask for criteria and view this in the light of the President's directive of making the Filipino comfortable, what will be the criteria? The criteria will be mobility. The criteria will be connectivity. The criteria will be to enhance the movement and transfer of people and goods. And then ultimately, this will be translated into one word: comfortable.
What sets this program apart from past programs and past governments? I think there are three things. First is the boldness in the decision-making that's being done by this government. Second is the swift action that's being undertaken. And third is the unity of purpose of all the departments.
Alongside the Build, Build, Build program is the Jobs, Jobs, Jobs program, where the government hopes to create more than 1 million jobs annually. Ruth Cabal, CNN Philippines.
You can watch the full forum tomorrow. Well, a lot of questions will be tackled with the country's economic managers. The event is moderated by CNN international correspondent Andrew Stevens and CNN Philippines chief correspondent Pia Ontiveros. Catch our special presentation, Building for the Future. Initial telecast is on Friday, 7 p.m., only here on CNN Philippines.
This is New Day on CNN Philippines. Some jeepney groups are asking for a fare hike. Find out by how much. And take a look at your screens now. There's some of the stories on our website. Check out cnnphilippines.com. New Day will be right back.
I wish I brought champagne. Ooh. I just said that on
You
Facebook.
did. Well, hello, Facebook. We have Robert Passes says, hello, guys. Good morning. Ray Bendy says, good morning. CNN Philippines always has a good news.
Can we make
Brunch.
her?
Denver.
Can we make her like cry on air?
No, don't make.
Good morning and welcome back. I'm Claire Saldran. Our top story, both chambers of Congress have approved their own versions of the Bangsamoro Basic Law on the last day of sessions. This comes the day after President Rodrigo Duterte formally certified the bill as urgent. The Senate approved its version of the bill shortly before 1 a.m. after 10 hours of deliberations. All 21 senators present voted in favor of the bill. Among the issues heavily discussed by the senators was the rules covering which municipality or town in the autonomous region of Muslim Mindanao can be part of the Bangsamoro government. Over at the House of Representatives, 227 lawmakers voted in favor of the proposed Bangsamoro Basic Law. 11 were against and 2 abstained. In an earlier statement, House Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez admits he is concerned about the bill's constitutionality as it will abolish the ARMM and establish a new Bangsamoro political entity and its basic structure of government. Lawmakers will convene in a bicameral conference when sessions resume in July on the day of the President's State of the Nation address. Another top story, President Rodrigo Duterte comes to the defense of the government's top lawyer, Solicitor General Jose Calida. Calida is facing criticism over his family-owned security firm, bagging government deals worth 150 million pesos. But while defending Calida, the president fired yet another official. All these after witnessing the destruction of smuggled luxury vehicles. Our senior correspondent, Ina Andolong, reports.
Behind me, the latest batch of smuggled goods destroyed here at the Bureau of Customs. We're used to seeing smuggled vehicles destroyed here, but this time most of the smuggled items ran over by a bulldozer is currently still happening, are mostly smuggled luxury vehicles. 116 of them to be exact, along with 6 vehicles. The brands of these motorcycles, 100 or more than 100 are Vespas, 2 Harley-Davidson, 2 BMWs, and 1 Triumph. The cost of these destroyed motorcycles and vehicles, 34.7 million pesos. President Duterte witnessed the destruction of the smuggled items, and his message was clear. He won't tolerate smuggling and any form of corruption. The president, in fact, fired another official, this time Customs Deputy Commissioner Noel Patrick Sales Prrd, who was appointed in the Bureau of Customs this last February. The president fired Prrd for his foreign travel.
Today, as a starter,
Personal travel to Singapore, personal travel to Singapore, personal travel to Europe. He is now under investigation by the House. Matagal yung investigation sa House, pati recommendation lang yan. So I will cut short the agony of Congress. I'm firing him today. Noel Patrick Sales Prudente.
The President also talked about another appointee currently making headlines. Solicitor General Jose Calida has been criticized for his family security agency, which allegedly bagged 150 million pesos worth of contracts from different government agencies. The President, amid criticisms of conflict of interest in Calida's case, says he sees no reason to fire him.
Itong si Calida, matagal naman yung security guard niya. Noon pa yan, why should I fire him? He's good. He's also from Davao. But Ilocano yan. Karamihan yung mga Ilocano. He's good. Bakit? Wala na ba tayong katuwiran magdegosyo? Ano nila is na, as long as we do not participate.
President Duterte, addressing himself to corrupt officials, says rather than stealing from government coffers, if these officials need money for matters like hospital expenses and even weddings, no need to get into corruption. Just ask him for money and he will give it. The President says he will continue to pursue cases against corrupt officials, but also adds that if he receives intelligence reports saying that an official is engaged in corrupt acts, he won't hesitate to fire them right away. Ina Kulang, CNN Philippines.